Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So we want to get it right before the guys walk in for the start. Be fine. We want to line up our main audio. So we need to wait for the bride to come down. Music stops playing. Just a little bigger. See the jumping levels right there. So we're gonna end on away. So I label this as officiant. Should be right about here.
Who gives this woman away?
Boom. We want to line that up there. I think this is in stereo. I'm gonna mute that. You can see at the bottom right how it's in stereo. So then we want to throw on a little effects. I like to keep my levels low when I record. Well, this is an audio, so never mind. My old recording system, I used to keep it low and then I could adjust and bring up the volume and stuff. But we're gonna throw on a thing called voiceover enhancement right here. It kind of levels everything out, and then we're gonna use loudness. Sometimes.
Who gives this woman away? Who gives this?
All right. Now we need to line this up even better. Just get a kind of a feel for it. What you done it for so long.
Who gives this woman away?
That's good. All right. Then you want to go and check at the end to make sure everything's still synced up correctly.
Together. Faith and love, defend you on every side, and guide you in truth and peace now and forever.
Sometimes if your project file it drifts off, it means that you have it under the wrong FPS, frames per second, when you started your project. So I think this is in 24, but sometimes if you put it in 30, it'll drift off. So just make sure you check that before you start editing deeply.
Yeah, I will.
So I like to take this ambient audio and not completely get rid of it, but put it around like maybe like -17. So
Will you have Nicole to be your wife?
that way you can still hear the audience clapping and stuff, but it's not overwhelming,
other-
and you're not hearing double audio really.
Words to express ourselves.
Okay, so then we got to go back. Since we cut in, we got to pull that back, and then that's the end of the music right here. So we want to cut past that and then fade this in. And this video is a little yellow, but we'll do all the white balancing later. Okay, so that's our main track. It's lined up. Everyone is left. Pull this back, okay. Alright, now we want to line up my 1DX footage with that, so let's go find that. And I know a lot of people do organization for weddings, but I just assume the edit is so quick to me that I don't bother doing it usually. So that is my 60, that's my C cam. So this is the 1DX. So let's go to where she comes down the aisle and wait for those first words from him.
Who gives this woman away?
Boom.
Who gives this woman away?
Boom. We're gonna put this on top. Zoom in. Need to line this up.
Who gives this woman away? Who gives this woman away?
Alright. And then basically what we're gonna do is pull this back as far as it goes, and then we just gotta go through and cut this correctly. So boom. I might even, since there's no real audio until after the song is over, I'm gonna keyframe this to have this at a normal level and have it dip out before we start speaking. So we'll do this. See if this looks okay. I want to show some footage of him actually walking in, so I'm going to pull this to here. Alright, I'm going to throw a denoiser on this later. But that just takes a while to render, so we don't want to throw that on there yet. Boom. This guy's chilling. Not sure what I think he's going to be ushering, so we'll cut when he walks past. We'll just cut back to the shot. Nothing really going on, so cut back to him, but never mind, I turn away. Boom. Wait till I get pretty stable here. See, I threw it on the legs there, which is a good move because you want stable footage. For the reception, for me, I'm just worried about getting it. I'm not worried about getting a bunch of creative shots because I shoot by myself. So I'm not too worried about getting like a lot of cool angles and stuff during the ceremony. There's enough stress in the ceremony already, so mainly what I'm worried about is just capturing it and making sure that I get it covered. So like here, that's a pretty cool shot, but it just so happened I was already shooting low, and you can see I was like kind of in the way, or my camera was in the way, so I had to move that. Boom. So roll this out. Alright, you walk back. You don't want to be on a shot for too long, so I'll cut this until they start walking down. Usually for this, even though I don't like keeping it on too long, well, that's way too long. Like usually when the bridesmaids come down, I'll just keep it on this static shot because usually it's just like bam, bam, bam right after each other. Alright, here's the first bridesmaid. She walks down. I fix my camera angle. I fix it again because that looked was too low. I'm just gonna keep it. Flower girl. Sometimes with the flower girl and the ring bearer, they'll do something funny or cute or whatever, so it takes them a little bit longer. Just make sure you keep the camera on them. Like if she did something like fell over or was throwing flowers or something, I would move the camera to make sure that I got that. That's another perk of shooting low, is that you account for the ring bearers and the flower girls. And that should be the last one before the bride. So we'll pull back to this shot. I know this is when I will get a shot on my C cam of the groom's reaction. Wait till here. So I like to edit my B cam first and go back to my C cam to fill in. So this shot is going to be completely blocked until everybody sits down. So it's nice to have B down the aisle, and then you'll see here once she comes down the aisle, boom, and I'll show throw in a reaction shot. That's why your C cam is so important for ceremony. I'll pick this up and turn with them, and I'll hold this shot here until he tells everybody to sit down. So, boom. And even though it's not the smoothest shot or whatever, it's just better than looking behind someone's head. And then I usually set this up in the middle of the aisle, wait for a photographer to walk past. Get my focus, whatever the hell I'm doing here. Alright, little dance there. Make sure I don't tweak it anymore. I do. But I like having it close to her, so I'll just keep that there. He goes through his spiel. And typically for this, you'll just cut back and forth.
to live together in covenant of marriage? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and have John be faithful? Please rise. People in the congregation,
Just wanted to show people rising there.
please rise.
All right, everyone stands up.
People in the congregation will all will. We will.
And then I'll cut back to them just to show the audience
Say,
reaction.
we will.
If I had a second shooter here, I would be doing the creative lead, and I would have had a shot of the audience saying that. I have that here because I'm shooting by myself.
Let us pray.
Again, it's
Love
better to be
all
safe and
people.
creative.
Enrich Jonathan
when you
and
shoot by
Nicole
yourself.
with every good gift, that their life together may show forth your love, and grant that at the last we may all celebrate with Christ the marriage.
Looks like he's
Please
done
be
talking
seated.
here. People sitting down. I think these are toasts. They're not toasts, but speeches for someone. I'll keep this wide. I'll figure out what's going on.
Our first reader, Susan.
I'll keep this wide because I know I got this on my C cam. A close up of that. I think I also have audio to put in here. I'm gonna put a marker there just to know that's where I have to be.
So I want to begin with a quick story.
So he is over there now.
Those outside and off to the
So this will all be my C cam.
we don't love our. Dennis does not envy. Dennis
So let's see when he comes back to the couple.
love. May God bless both of you.
Alright, now he's back to the couple. We're about to do vows. So now I actually want to sync up this audio before I forget. I believe this is going to be his.
We play all the time. We play football at Tommy Murgia's house.
Do you miss?
Yeah. You unconditional.
You're always my part.
Hold on one sec, guys. I want to take that off for just 1 second. Wait, no, not that one. Just want to hide this. These messages. So I want to turn off. I don't want distractions from my phone, so I'm just going to turn this off. Come on. Oh, it's down here. Enable this account. Okay. So now that's turned off. Bring this back. All right.
I thought I knew what love was.
Ooh, so we're right there.
A box containing our first anniversary.
Just start with that.
Am to
It takes me back to when we said I love you for the first time.
So I want to make sure that we
even
get
if the roll together. As a little girl.
as a little girl, so that's what we're looking for.
How lucky I am to have found my.
Even before that. Hear that whoo and So boom. Okay. Go in here. Make sure that this is stereo. Yep. And then we need to line this up. I'll copy the pastings of that and put it on this. So you just do Control C and then Control Shift V and you'll paste all the settings. But it'll also put that fade in, which we do not, well, we want, but not right there. Line this up better.
How lucky I am to have found my soulmate so early on in this life. As a little girl, I always. So thank you not only for our past and complete as you do for me. I promise to respect and love you unconditionally through your highest highs and your lowest lows.
And that is the end of that clip. I think that's right after she's done her vows.
Love you the most tomorrow. I can't wait for a lifetime of tomorrows with you as my husband.
Boom, so we'll cut there. Looks like I cut right after she was done there. So that's after the wedding. Boom, boom, boom. This is all after. Okay, that should be his. That's right after Nikki.
Got the nod. Nikki.
Boom. Alright. Now, gotta line this up.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Sounds a little off.
Holy cow. Holy cow. It's so surreal.
Yep, there we go. So pull this back to there. But we don't want to have this shot just like abruptly start and stop, so clapping's over. Come back. Goes through a spiel here.
And you're terrible.
I like to keep it on this the whole time just so that the couple, when they watch this back, can see the emotion the entire time instead of the wide shot. So since he's done here, we will cut back to the wide.
From this day forward,
From this day forward.
to join with you,
Cut back to this
Nicole, repeat after me,
for them doing that thingy.
as a sign of my love,
That's
Oh, I gotta cut back to officiant Mike. So during the applause, we're just kind of fade these together like that. Well, I want that mic drop actually.
Nicole, repeat after me, I take you, Jonathan,
I take you, Jonathan,
All right.
as a sign of my love.
and faithfulness.
All right. I'm gonna cut until he gets the rings. Got him. Just want to break that shot up a little bit. Okay.
And faithfulness.
He was a funny groom.
You got it.
Jonathan and Nicole, by their promises before God and in the presence of this assembly, have joined themselves to one another in Christ, sending Jesus Christ to guide them into all people. Amen.
And then I usually pick up my gimbal right after the kiss. Boom. And then I'll cut back to the wide so I can cover this camera movement. Then they announce. That's why it's nice too to have a zoom lens on your gimbal for ceremony, so you can go from, and the best case scenario, I'd rather have the 24-70, so I can have the 2.8 in a scenario like this, but I didn't. I had the 24-105, which is f4. So that is a little bit of an annoyance, but I can get really tight here, but I don't even know how tight I got on this. But it's nice, I can go from that shot to this shot in literally 2 seconds. And just wait for everyone to leave, because this shot is going to be blocked because everyone stands up. Some officiants have people stand up, some do not. So once we get everybody out of the aisle, I'll cut back. I'll pull this back so I can transition without that being a problem. Right there. I can actually delete that audio.
And peace now.
This audio.
Go in peace, serve the Lord.
Alright, and now we gotta go back and do the C-cam stuff, and that should be under these guys. So the biggest things that we want here is his reaction. Just like that's when that music ends. So kind of look for that cue. I think it's right here. Bring it down here just for a second so I can line it up. Okay. Alright, then put your cursor here so you can pull this up. Is that right? No, it's gonna be here. That's where it is. Okay. I want to go to the edge of that. Bring this up just a second. Okay. Bring this back down to 0. And then cursor there, pull this up. Just exposure there, you can see. So we don't want that, and then I'm making sure it's focused. show her his reaction. Cut back to her walking. Not walking. He does like a nice little fishing reel thing here in a second. And again, we'll fix all the exposure issues. So right there, he does the fishing rod. See how she laughs at that. Kind of let that laugh breathe right here. Ooh. And we'll just kind of let that breathe here. Alright, so we don't really need this shot again, really, because that's not even framed on him correctly until the speaker.
Just read it like it is. Your name's right on it. Just read it like it is. The mic will pick it up.
And then I have my H4N.
Oh, when completeness comes, what is in part distinguished?
So I'm H1.
Your couple. And on that big. Give this woman away. Come. Let us pray.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark, the 10th chapter.
Boom.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark, the 10th chapter.
Alright, so this is just going to be a little bit cleaner audio. It's not going to be great, but it's better. So we will make sure this is lined up.
A reading from the
It's actually pretty good.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark.
So I will put keyframes here, dip this out, not completely gone, maybe negative 16.
A reading from the Gospel of Mark, the 10th chapter. And shall leave. Therefore, what God.
When she dips, I'm going to cut away from that shot for a second until the next reader comes up.
A reading from the 1 Corinthians 13th chapter. It's not dishonor others the truth. It always protects and talks like is love.
Cut away when she walks away. He's actually going up there. We'll cut back. I think I'll leave it on here. Well, I fixed my shot, so he doesn't start talking yet. So I'll actually leave it on the wide.
So I want to begin with a quick story.
And then we don't really need this audio anymore because he has a mic on. So we actually dip that out, delete that, and keyframe this back in.
So I want to begin with a quick story.
It's a little abrupt, so I'm going to start back just a little bit.
So I want to begin.
You want to give people a little bit of breathing room before someone starts talking.
So I want to begin with
So they can adjust on what's going
a
on.
quick story. Bride and bridesmaid, groom and best man, and so on and so on.
So you can see, like, here there's these little breaks. That's how you can tell someone's finishing a sentence.
In service. They had all the usual.
Right here is going to be finishing.
Then the couple and their families went on.
He does a nice job of pacing himself, so he's not rushing through it. So at the end of these sentences, I'm just going to cut back.
And so on. Then the couple and their families went off to to develop the pictures he had taken.
Just to break it up.
He then came.
obviously wanting this shot as much as possible. You can see another break here.
Bible verse, Father, forgive them, they don't know
That was the story he
what
was telling.
they're doing.
So we want a reaction shot out of that. Then we want to cut back before he starts talking again.
Now I get the impression is that Jonathan is the person we use words to express our. Dennis does not envy. Dennis does not.
No, he's chopping us off.
Always perseveres.
That's the first little break that we have, so we'll cut back until he picks back up right here.
Always trusts. Always hopes. Always perseveres. I feel slightly embarrassed reading that because I'm very close to the picture of love. I am not. In fact, I could feel my nose growing as I read that. But now I'll take.
That's where this. That's one thing about DSLRs is they cut off after like. Well, my 6D cuts off after like, or it splits the file after 6 or 7 minutes, which is really annoying.
Sacrificed everything and humbled himself by taking up the form of a human.
So we're looking for form of a human.
Sacrificed everything.
We don't want to cut off mid here, so we'll pull back until he finishes this sentence here.
The perfect example of love is found in Jesus, who sacrificed everything and humbled himself by taking up the form of a human.
Bring this back in. Line this up.
Coming down from heaven to earth to die for us. Form of a human. Coming down from heaven to earth to die ahead of your own. Ahead of your own. Both of you.
Alright, then he finishes there. We'll just delete the rest of this. Delete that. Alright, that should be it for the ceremony edit. I believe so.
Me neither.
Alright, so that is a ceremony edit. I still got to go in and fix the coloring and stuff, but I want to finish the rest of the reception before we do that. So that took, what, 30 minutes? Alright, so let's move on to the reception here. We got introductions, I believe. Now, a lot of time when you bite into the DJ's mix feed, when they introduce, it's really loud and distorted. A lot of time I just keep it on camera. Yeah, your boy is Spider-Man right there. I keep it on camera audio until we get to toast. That's dope.
First up, we want to acknowledge the grandparents.
Alright, we want to acknowledge the grandparents. So I'll see if this audio is usable.
Of the groom, Miss Phyllis Welsh.
Right,
Grandparents. Acknowledge the grandparents.
Acknowledge the grandparents.
Next up, we have Miss Next up, we have Miss Allie Moore, and that's what Mr. Alex Zolin.
Still not 100.
Next up, we have Miss Allie Moore being escorted by Mr. Alex Zolin.
So we don't want to get rid of this ambient noise completely, so we can hear audience cheering, and it's not just this.
Miss Salerno and Miss Rosalie Ann Dolan.
We want to add a little bit of life to it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to cut past that. I don't know why this always goes off. So we'll do all the fade
If I
in.
need y'all's attention, I have a great whistler over here.
Alright, so then we've got to find my 1DX.
here. All right, first up, we want to acknowledge the grandparents.
Boom. Okay.
First up, let's give it up for the grandmas of the bride, Miss Patricia.
Okay, so I'll wait until I find her.
Salerno and Miss Rosalie Ann Dowling Hartfield.
Now this, guys, is going to be all run and gun. Put your
Next up, we
24
have
to
the-
70, 24 105, and just get what you
The
can.
grandmother of the groom, Miss Phyllis Welsh.
Because a lot of time you're not going to know who is where and when they do acknowledgments at the table like that.
Please give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Todd and Julie Dowling.
So here, this is another thing you just want to capture. Don't do anything crazy unless you have a second. Kids.
This should be fun. First up, we have Miss Sarah Morrison being escorted by Mr. Max Fogel. Next up, we have Miss Dana Moselle.
Like legit, just stay wide. Don't do anything too crazy. Do a little push in there. That's kind of cool. But I'm not doing like 360s and stuff around these people. I just want to capture it. And then I get around bride and groom here, I think. So always am cautious of where I'm at to make sure I'm not in the photographer's shot. But I know here, backing up, everyone's going to stand up. So they're going to block my shot of the door. So I got to make sure that I see them when they walk in. So I run around this table.
That napkin in front of you. We're going to wave that napkin around our head. We're going to bring this.
Boom. I think I go behind them when they're also being cautious that I'm not in the photographer shot. So I'm staying low. And then as soon as they move, so appreciated that. And I think they go straight in the first answer. So I'll cut away from that. Here we go. So I liked, see how the shot originally was like dead center, like that's how I want it to be, but a lot of time the couple, unless you tell them beforehand, don't think I was able to here to dance in the middle of the dance floor. They'll just pick a random spot sometimes, so you just gotta adjust and move your camera. In here, I used to have the mindset of don't do anything creative, but I noticed myself wanting to use a lot more dance shots in my highlight films, so I will dance around a little bit more with my 1DX, knowing that I have this wide shot to always fall back on. For the rest of my life, you don't have to think twice. I will. On that beat, we'll cut back to the wide for the next shot that I set up. So I jump in my own frame here. Just gotta hope the shot's right. If you're asking. For that camera shake, I'll just go back to here. Sometimes I try to do a little bit too much. I try to get too cheap. Look at that kiss, I'll cut. Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm trying to get like a low angle kind of shot. zoom out. Cut back. So that shot is cool, and I'll probably use for the highlight, but it kind of looks like unintentional in this edit. So, I want to get that spin, so I won't use this shot here. And then after I get a couple of shots, I think I usually just chill. Camera movements are not great here. Can't see anyone's face. So right here I'll cut. If you're asking me, I love you this much. Okay. So here we want to get that full depth. So we will cut back to the wide. Did we get it? Yeah. Ooh, nice push in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for that fireman and that teacher, Mr. and Mrs. Stidham. If I can have the father of the bride, Mr. Todd Bailey. Over to the DJ booth, sir.
We don't want this dead space. Miss anything?
Mr. Dolan. Hello.
Yikes, dude. That audio is not the best. This is another miscue. I should have told the DJ where I wanted everybody.
When you really don't like to do it is lubrication. And it's you lubricate just enough that you're not nervous, but not so much that you're just a blubbering mess. So we're about to find out if...
Hello.
Okay, so we do not want that hello, but the rest of his audio levels are fine. So I'm gonna even leave that on camera audio. Even if they can't tell what's going on. Alright.
The secret to speaking in public.
So for this, I know that my H1N records in mono, so we want to go here to audio settings on the mode, change this to dialogue. That'll kind of make it a stereo, so you can see now the levels are a little bit more.
I need to come up front.
Then we'll put that voiceover enhancement on it.
When you really don't like to do it is lubrication.
I think this other shot that I have. So here I wasn't prepared for toast because this is usually just like a whelping speech. So this shot is on basically unusual.
Mess.
So I'm just going to go this the entire time. I probably don't do anything crazy.
I know it was a lot of fun for all. Jason Aldean.
It looks like I set it down here.
Think.
I'll probably go fix the other camera. See if I ever do that. I do. That's in focus. So now we can pull this up.
Me as I'm about to get sappy. So I've known Nikki pretty much all of her life.
And that's when I take this camera and I go more of a close-up.
And it turned out just fine. She's smart and responsible, unless there's been wine.
I'm having such trouble here.
She's honest, dependable, and a whole lot of fun. Her smile will light up a room like the sun. And then we have Jonathan sitting here now. Sitting here now. Eddie, you should stand and take a deep bow. You and Diane made a wonderful guy. To look at him there brings a tear to the eye. When we first met him, he was nervous and shy, but we thought he seemed an okay kind of guy. Jonathan took Alex and Sean out to play, where he nearly blew his thumb off. What more can I say?
So that's pretty funny, so we'll cut back to a reaction shot here.
I'll let him explain that. So let's wish them great joy, happiness, and good cheer, and we'll all return to this spot year after year. And we'll have lots of good fun and do things that are funny. But please bring your wallet. I'm all out of money.
So that's funny. Let's see. Into the speed here.
Thing. Every one of you. So, just one last thing.
So I thought it was over. So I'm like,
every one of you here have been.
So not the best here. But
one of you here have been invited here because you played a role or a part in either Nikki's life or Jonathan's life or Nikki and Jonathan's life, and I'm here to thank you for your part in bringing these guys together and making them who they are. So God bless you, and thank you.
Boom. Get a little bit of applause.
All right. Let's do it for Mr. Darling.
DJ's talking so loud, man.
All right. Let's do it for Mr. Darling. At this time, we are going to serve our dinner, starting with our guest of honor.
Boom. I'll just leave that in there. Figure that out. All right, next up is toast, I believe. Now this was a little irritating because they started toast as we were eating, so I missed the first part of the best man speech. So I had him re-record his toast outside so the couple has that entire thing. But just be aware at all times of, and be in good contact and have good dialogue with the DJ just to make sure something like this doesn't happen. I believe toast were before we did portraits. Yeah. So I'm scrambling here.
I still remember Powder's house. Staying at the Powder's house every day, trying to be crazy.
But I think one thing I did have going is I left.
Play manhunt all around the neighborhood. I'm standing next to him at the ceremony, just let everyone know. I was a good looking guy standing next to him at the ceremony.
Alright. So I had my H4n plugged into the DJ's thing, but I stopped the recording. But I also had a Tascam running with the lavalier dangled over the speaker, which I accidentally kept running, which turns out to be helpful here because now I can get I can get his full speech. I won't have the full video, but I will have that. And I already talked to the bride directly after. I let her know what went down. She was completely cool about it. There was just miscommunication. Somewhere.
Burgess house.
So not the best audio, but at least we have it.
Johnny, your friendship has meant so much to me. We've had so many good times, I wouldn't change any of it. I was a good-looking guy standing next to him. I was a good-looking guy standing next to him at the ceremony. So hey everyone, for those that don't know me, I'm Jordan Marstrom, Jonathan's best man. I was a good-looking guy standing next to him at the ceremony.
Alright, so we have that. I hate people. So, let's wait for that.
Which was a total failure. Got bullied together in middle school. Man, we've done so much together. A lot of the we've had so many good times, I wouldn't change any of it.
So I'll just wait for the end of that. For the let's have a toast.
So let's have a toast.
And then we'll work our way backwards.
For the record, I asked her out first, but obviously you see I got turned down. So I'm actually the one with good taste. So.
Think
of honor. Of honor.
but please bring your wallet. I'm all broke.
It's fun, and I'm pretty sure no one of the perfect. I sincerely wish you both happy. So let's have a toast. So let's have a toast.
So we want to put in the better audio when possible. Again, that's in mono, so we want to change it to stereo, voiceover, bring this up.
So let's have a toast to Jonathan.
Alright, so we'll pull this back, because we want to use that when we can.
Oh, we made it.
So I will dip this out and fade this in.
But we made it through that, and I'm pretty sure no one want to mess with him now.
Alright.
It's like you're a little tiny. We played football together all throughout Little League. We got bullied together in middle school. But we made it through that, and I'm pretty sure no one.
Alright. Now we want to find. What is this?
Girls into strong stuff.
No, we just want to find the next 1DX clip of the speeches That was just a quick clip. So we'll find again where he finishes his speech. Let's have a toast.
So let's have a toast.
So let's have a toast.
So let's have a toast. So let's have a toast.
I'm also gonna put loudness on this one, just to bulk it up.
Let's have a toast.
Pull it down here. No. Pull it down here. No. Pull it down here. Bro.
To Jonathan and Nikki. Let's have a toast. Alright.
Pull this up over top so we can see what's going on.
You and Jonathan are the perfect match. You and Jonathan are the perfect match for each other. You and Jonathan are the perfect match for each other.
Then we will pull this back as far as it goes. Alright, so we missed this part of the speech.
MC Jimmy in the McDonald's parking lot, or staying at the Tyler's house. Yeah. Staying at the Tyler's house every day, driving them crazy.
I'll just keep it.
Man,
We got.
we've done some about because Nikki said I had to make my hand, maybe my for a wife back then. In all seriousness, though, they hit it off right away, as you can see. For the record, I asked her out first, but obviously you can see I got turned down. So I'm actually the one with good taste. So.
My gimbal's messing up here.
In the formative years of their relationship, Jonathan would be at her house all the time. Basically every day, actually. So you know as friends, we obviously had to mess with him. For example, once we hid in Johnny's car until he and Nikki got in to scare the heck out of him. Or putting baby powder in Jonathan's air conditioning vents. It was all good fun. It's kind of amazing they actually haven't tried to strangle me yet, come to think of it. Since you two have been together, you have both become my best friends. The friends you have shared with me, the things you include me in, you've made me a better person and many others as well. Nikki, I can't say enough about you. You are one of my rocks. One of the most strong-willed women I know. You know how to take charge. I am so appreciative of your love and friendship.
Weird camera move. Just this whole thing was just a mess.
You and Jonathan are the perfect match for each other, and I sincerely wish you both happiness for the rest of your lives. I think we can all agree it's about damn time anyways. So let's have a toast to Jonathan and Nikki Stidham. Congratulations! Woo!
For some reason, cuts the mic off. Back on.
All right, great job, Jordan. Next up, we have Kelly.
Thank you.
Just leave this.
Can I put my wine right here? Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are having a wonderful time celebrating the love of the new Mr. and Mrs. Stidham.
Gonna reaction to that. This one would be a lot better. I'm not freaking out.
Before I begin, I'd like to ask you all to take a moment and join me in thanking Todd and Julie Dolan for hosting such a beautiful evening.
I gotta take this hoodie off.
I couldn't feel more grateful to be a part of this perfect and joyous day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelly, and Nikki's my best friend in the entire world.
See if there's a reaction out of that. Yep.
She's a sister I never had, but always wanted. She's the one I can always count on no matter what.
So you want her reaction, but also...
Sorry. Most importantly, she's the one always willing to spend a night in eating pizza and drinking wine, all while catching up on our favorite and extremely important reality TV shows. Vanderpump Rules, Southern Charm, The Real Housewives, you name it, we probably watch it.
Reaction shot till she speaks again.
Nikki, I think I can speak for everyone in this room when I say that you look absolutely stunning.
Reaction shot again.
Jonathan, damn, you're a lucky man. For so long, this day has seemed like it would never come, but yet I can't believe it's finally here. We're all so happy for you two starting your journey together as husband and wife. I still remember the very day that Nikki and I first became friends. We were in middle school, and Nikki and I happened to sit down together at the same art table. Nervous and unsure of who the girl sitting across from me was, I asked her two burning questions that I had. What her name was, and what kind of music she liked.
Reaction shot.
When she answered me, not only did we discover our mutual love for country music, but she also mentioned her latest song obsession, which happened to be Kelly Pickler's Red High Heels.
Reaction shot.
Hearing this, I beamed with excitement as we proceeded to just very casually belt out a little bit of the chorus together, creating a new friendship and the world's most perfectly horrible song rendition of all time.
Reaction shot. So people will talk in like waves, and you want to get reaction shots at the end of the waves.
All time. In that moment, I knew that Nikki was a special person and that I had to be her friend. Looking back, I couldn't be more thankful for that day. You've been my person ever since. And just so everyone knows, if the price is right, I think we'd definitely be willing to put on an encore performance of that day in art class later.
Reaction shot.
Over the last 15 years, Nikki and I have continued to share so many wonderful memories together as we've evolved from young, innocent girls into strong, established women. I'll always treasure the times we've shared together, from nearly sleepless nights at Towson to dancing the night away at country concerts and traveling to places like Nashville, the Outer Banks, and all over the Caribbean. It's been one of my greatest pleasures to be able to grow, learn, and do life with you by my side as my very best friend. I do have to say, though, through all of the changes we've experienced together as besties over the years, one thing that I admire that has always stayed consistent is Nikki's love for Jonathan. Now, this might be unknown to many of you, but when Nikki and Jonathan first started getting to know each other, Jonathan was actually involved in a bit of a love triangle.
Reaction shot.
You see, prom was right around the corner, and Jonathan had 3 ladies on his radar, one of which was Nikki. You can only imagine, as Nikki's overprotective best friend, what my first impression of Jonathan was like. But fate always wins in the end, and Jonathan did indeed take Nikki to prom. I guess I can say the rest was history.
Reaction.
But really, how amazing is it to look back on those days and think about how far you two have come together? Now you're both established in your careers, quite literally changing the lives of people every day. Nikki, you're molding the youth of America, and Jonathan is bravely protecting them. I know you've both changed my life in ways that I could have never expected, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. I'm truly so proud of all the love, growth, and compassion that's fulfilled your relationship to get you to this day. You guys have grown from perplexed high schoolers to committed and loving husband and wife.
Reaction.
You've traveled all over together, bought and beautifully renovated a house together, and one day you'll raise a family together. Eddie has renovated the house. But this reminds me, I know you guys are headed on the much-deserved honeymoon, but seriously, don't forget about the pregnancy pact. If you're curious as to what the heck I could possibly be talking about, it basically means that if there's a time to become large, hormonal, and hungry for 9 months, you best believe Nikki and I have plans to do it together. For both of our sake and the men's sake, it's probably for the best. On a serious note, though, I feel so lucky that I have such a special best friend to share all of life's moments with. The good, the bad, the in-between. And I guess I'd be willing to officially share Nikki from here on out. But Johnny, don't forget who the original co-captain is. Nikki, you are the perfect example of what it means to be beautiful, kind, compassionate, loyal, and loving. You brighten every room that you walk into, and you make this world a better place to be. I can't express how happy I am for the two of you on this day as you begin your journey as each other's. They say that everyone out there has a soulmate. It's just a matter of figuring out who that person is. Made for each other. And I love you both so much and wish you a lifetime full of everlasting love, health, and cheerful bliss. Cheers to Nikki and Jonathan Stidham.
Hey, where did we go? All right, then we'll fade this out. Okay. Then we got dances. What we got? A little over an hour. All right. And this is some special dance they wanted to do. Let's wait for them to come towards the dance floor. Okay, so we'll start about right here. Find my footage to line up with it. So listen for that. Boom. Alright, so walks out. What I'm doing here. So here I'm just like kind of scanning where the photographer's at, where I should be. I know that I can kind of rely on this shot for a minute. I want to get the photographer out of the shot. Exposure right. Cut back to the wide. Wait till see faces. That should be good right there. Same shot, so I'm not going to cut to that. I got to cover that tilt up. I don't know why I did that.
Your attention, please.
I don't think that he had a dance with anyone after that. So that would be the only dance. And then this.
Now that I have all of
I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
10 years
Anniversary dance, but everyone got closer to the couple.
And as you know, with us, love and okay, so
I want to figure out what she's saying. So we'll pick up this audio levels here.
secret of being married. I don't know. I think
If it's one of you against the other, it's never going to work. It's got.
and that's all I can tell you.
all right, let's go. Please go.
Then did the more traditional anniversary dance, but no one left the dance floor. Alright, then after that, what I do personally is I just put all the reception footage. Oh, here's the cake cutting. So let's leave that in. Garter toss. And then takes this off.
If you guys will. This is still not going to have you from the step on dance.
And does this guy. Okay. And then what I typically do is I'll just take all of the reception footage and just dump it. And I'll call this uncut reception footage. So you have it. But sometimes I shoot slow-mo. So I'll usually cut the ones that are slow-mo, but it doesn't look like I did here. I'll cut like this stuff. That's me just trying to get some last-minute B-roll. That's like, can you tell what's going on there? That is our basic layout.
Don't grab her waist. That's it. Fire.
Alright, just make sure that there wasn't any first look or anything. I don't really remember. I don't think that there was. Got him getting ready.
Lisa.
Yep.
They did read letters, but not out loud for the Hiley. So some couples just don't feel comfortable doing it. It's not a big deal. I'll cut that. And then, I believe I had her. She must have read hers then. Do your letter. Yes. Okay. Now, titles. Well, let me make sure there wasn't the first look with Dad or anything. Don't think so. No. Okay. So now I will go back to one of my older weddings. And I'll get a title card, so it's the same. Hello, we all here. Hour and a half. Pretty good time. Alright, that is the highlight. We want the full. That's not it either. There she is. Alright. So we want to copy this title card. Go back to here. Letter reading. Okay. Paste again. This will be ceremony. Alright, go past ceremony. Should be introductions. Since it's the same shot, just get the title card after introductions. Go into first dance. And we need the full title card again. This one. We'll call this welcome speech. reminds me I have to put that in now before I forget. Actually, we just need that for the... I went ahead and reread it outside. But I'll just use that for the highlight. And this will be just called dance. And this, what we call this dance is, then we can just fall into that one. Can never spell bouquet. I think it's bouquet toss, yeah? Yeah. Just kind of put transitions between these just to...
If you guys will take your attention in my house,
just to make it a little bit more smooth, and then the last one we will do, kind of delete these two because they're so short, and we'll just call this uncut reception footage. Here at the end, do a little bit longer so people kind of get it. All right, now we just got to color. So if we go back to Ducats and then we pull up this, kind of use this LUT as a baseline. Paste it, just drag it over the whole damn thing. And then we gotta tweak it. Alright. So this is a little dark. So we'll go, make sure there's no like vignette or anything on this. There's not. Okay, sharpen a bit. Okay. Bring the LUT down just a little bit. Okay. So go into color.
Italian, there's no money in there with that. Long.
I saw that.
So I don't think I had enough time for the tears to build up.
Alright, now this is not the right color, so we'll try to white balance this. So boom, boom. Looks a lot better. So before, after. It's pretty good.
gives this woman away?
We do.
Lord Jesus, be faithful.
This is a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to go into color. That's what sucks about churches, is just that the lighting is always not great. Get the mids a bit, and then bring the blacks down here. So if we go here, and get blacks down here a little bit more. Might have to white balance this as well. That's what sucks about using different cameras too, is that the coloring is always just a little bit different, so matching color is never easy.
Who gives this woman away?
We do.
Alright, that looks a lot better. Obviously not perfect. A lot better than what we were working with earlier. There's a little bit of orange in here, so let's see if we can take that out. Oh, that looks really good. We can bring the brightness up just a hair. 6. Alright, so I'm going to copy this on all the 1DX files.
Please rise. Hey, all.
Now that's going to be different because that's a different camera. Do that in a second. Alright, then we'll go back. Copy and paste some stuff here. I'm gonna fix that in a second. Everything else is Gucci. Alright, mister. Let's fix you real quick. Just make sure the white balance is straight. Boom. Boom. Camera is a little soft. And then we will go. Let's see if we can kind of match in here. That'll do. There's just quick shots, and then these are the most important ones. This is way too orange. Find something that's white. Not really anything too white.
The mic will pick it up.
A reading.
I'll celebrate with Christ the man. Will you have Jonathan to be your husband, to live together in a covenant of marriage? Will you love him? Our first reading.
Mark the 10th. It does not boast.
One thing that is easy. Each day choose to love Jonathan by putting his desires ahead of your own.
I think it might be too bright.
This feeling of your wedding day will fade in time, and in those moments, you must both choose love. May God bless both of you.
I think it's just a hair too bright, so we're gonna go back. And just like 7. This one.
Coming down from heaven to earth to die for us.
Also might be because he is wearing a jacket, which is white and bouncing light.
The one who keeps me grounded.
All right, that's straight.
Go on.
Just pick the brightness up in this one a little bit.
If I can have everybody on your feet, please, and grab that napkin in front of you. We're going to wave that napkin around our head. We're going to bring this beauty.
When you smile, I can share.
That needs to be brightened up.
So I've no others to be happy. You'll have to indulge me as I'm about to get sappy.
Let's try to white balance it.
So I've known indulge me as I'm about to get sappy.
You could crush the blacks a little bit. Just like one.
So to indulge me as I'm about to get sappy.
It's definitely more orange.
So you'll have to indulge me as I'm about to get sappy. So I've known Nikki. At
That's all right. Color looks pretty good.
this spot.
Our guest of
And I'm pretty sure 2 beers in my hand, maybe my shirt off. You can see I got
Just brighten this up a hair. It's always good to underexpose rather than overexpose.
got turned down. Formative years of their lives match for each other.
These colors match really well. And the rest is just reception stuff. Okay. And that'll be it. We do noise reduction. This is going to take a hot minute. One thing I'll do before it starts rendering is just break it up. Into chunks. That way if I have to adjust one thing, it doesn't have to do the entire video again. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so it's gonna be easiest to find noise in the reception, I think. Be on this guy's shirt. Okay, so denoiser. No, reduce noise. Then select it open. Copy. And everything else. Except for the one that we already did. Command Shift V. Reduce noise. Okay. And we just have to wait for that to roll out, but that is a reception or ceremony reception edit, guys. That is it. Just wait for that to roll out, and then we export. That took what? Hour 45? Not too bad, not too bad. So once that finishes up, the denoising is going to take forever, but it'll look so much better once it's done. So once that is done, I will be back and we will start the highlight film. For show. I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go to the gym. Hopefully this will be finished by then, and I'll be back. Peace.